This is gonna kind of go along with the with the video I made called Truth of the Homeless Population, or at least I think that's what it was called. So I'm gonna title this Why You Shouldn't Call the Police When You See a Homeless Kid. And I really should have wrote a script before. But first thing I'll say is that you have to accept that there is no system put in place to help, and that the reason that the kid is out there in the first place is because of the fact there is no system put in place to help. And if there was, the kid wouldn't be abandoned, kicked out, or run away in the first place. When you call the police, if there's a missing persons report, or even if there isn't, the kid is going to get thrown in jail or some other branch of the Cash for Kids system where they're going to be essayed, labeled, drugged, abused, and trafficked, and then sent back home if there actually is a missing persons report, and the kid's parents can even be tracked down. If there is no report and the kid ran away from foster care, the foster care system, or if they were just abandoned and their parents died, then they're going to be trafficked through the Cash for Kids system and given a whole bunch of false charges for a whole bunch of things that they didn't do. And that makes things worse for them than if you were to actually help, which would be like, I don't know, getting them some food if they needed some food, or getting them a hotel room or something for like a night. But calling the police and calling CPS isn't going to help. Actually, CPS isn't likely to do anything because, for one, they're a part of the Cash for Kids system and they're a child trafficking organization. So that could make things so much worse for them. Not to mention CPS may not even care and they may not even take the kid anyway, which usually running away, if that's the case and the kid isn't kicked out or abandoned, running away is a last-ditch effort, which means that CPS was already involved multiple times and never did anything, which honestly, if CPS didn't do anything, the kid is actually lucky, because going into foster care is going to be the same or worse than whatever situation you're already in, probably worse. Like, there are people that have said they'd rather have stayed at home and got molested and choked every day than ever went to the foster care system. And then other people say being on the streets homeless is safer than being in CPS custody. So not only are they automatically a trafficking organization, because just like other parts of the Cash for Kids system, the kid already has no rights under 18, so they're taken against their will, given some false mental label, and drugged all the time. But then they're also trafficked by being put in one home, then another home, then a group home, then a mental facility, then a TTI. But not only that, you can also get into full-blown SRA sex trafficking through the CPS system, which that happens a lot. And then there's also the thing where kids from different countries or different ethnicities, even from the U.S., are put in these white savior homes where they go through racial taming, as I call it, and then they're told a whole bunch of lies about people of their ethnicity. They're not allowed to date people of their ethnicity. They go through emotional incest, and to where they're basically a surrogate spouse to their racist mom or dad, to be honest. And then they also commonly end up getting sex trafficked too, along with that whole racial taming situation, which I think I mentioned that in some other videos I have in the CPS government abuse cult playlist. And then the other thing, if you see a kid who's busking or panhandling outside a store, and you go in the store to tell them because you think that they're going to quote unquote help, please don't do that. The store's just going to tell them to get off their property trying to make money. That's all that's going to happen. And they may call the police on the kid to get them charged with, what is it called? Soliciting? Is that what? Or loitering? I don't even remember what it's called, but those two things, I think, and then get them charged with trespassing. and then probably some other false charges of things that didn't even happen. They just want the kid to go to jail to get off their property. That's all that's going to happen. A lot of people refuse to accept that there is no system put in place to help and that you have no rights under 18. And this is kind of why when you're doing the lay low till 18 thing, you may have to just not care about even trying to make money for a while and just focus on laying low till 18, because anything that will have you in public view can get the police called on you, which can get you locked up and put back in your previous situation you left. Or even you get thrown to the Cash for Kids system and you're getting trafficked and abused through the Cash for Kids system, and the police don't even let your parents know that they have you. And so then they full-blown kidnap you and don't even tell your parents or relatives jack, and then you're stuck getting trafficked through the system, all because some people call themselves quote-unquote helping you by calling the police on you. When police come out somewhere, they're never coming out to help anybody do jack. They're coming out so somebody can go to jail for something, and so somebody can get charged with something. Not to mention, when you call the police in quote-unquote child abuse situations, the police are likely to let it be known that it's not their job to do anything about that. You need to call CPS, and CPS is not the type to come out same day. And like I already said, that's risky in and of itself for CPS to even come out, if they even do anything. Then I guess this could be a part 1. Actually, I forgot to mention something. So another thing is that if CPS does actually take the kid in and things don't go too terribly, or even if they do go really terribly like usual, the kid's still going to be dumped out homeless at 18 or end up having to run away from the foster care system. So they're still going to end up homeless regardless. And then, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I wouldn't advise you to do this unless you actually really plan on going to court and trying to get custody of the kid and adopt the kid yourself. Which, if they're a runaway and there's a missing persons report out somewhere, that could make things harder for you to even be able to adopt them. And I think I have a video that kind of goes over a situation like this in my CPS government abuse cult video, or maybe it's in the childhood homelessness playlist. Wait, no, the CPS government abuse cult playlist, and then the other playlist about the childhood homelessness, because there was this lady, and she was on social media talking about how her 8-year-old daughter had this 8-year-old friend whose mom kept kicking her out, and she kept calling the police and CPS, and the police kept telling her to call CPS, and CPS kept saying that they didn't care, and so the lady started trying to adopt the girl. So other than that, there is no help, and so I think that's it.